Hey YouTube, the Jake with the Garboders back with another epic Pokemon video. I know it's been a while since you guys have heard from us, but we're still alive and well. Today
Up
we're
on
gonna
the daily streams
yeah,
instead of
daily
the
stream.
YouTube.
But today we're gonna be doing a tier list going into the Pokemon card trading or the Pokemon trading card game World Championships
Of
that's
every
coming up next
possible
weekend.
deck.
And we've just about every deck here, and we're gonna be
Except
sorting them.
Slowduck.
Yeah, except for Slowduck. And we're gonna be putting them in different tiers for you guys today, just so you know kind of our opinion on whether or not you should play these or how good they are. Like I said before, it is our opinion, so if you play one of our tier 1 decks and you go 0-9, it's not our fault. You know, sometimes it's just user error.
You'll meet
So-
Carter at table 347 for round 9.
Okay, so Seth's gonna start us off here with our tier 1 decks.
Okay, so for tier 1, our first insertion is going to be Malamar with Giratina Garchomp. So basically, this is one of the like 5,000 Malamar variants you could play for Worlds. So this one's attacker of choice, other than this Giratina spam that you'll be doing for the majority of the game. It's going to be this Giratina and Garchomp tag team, which you use the second attack and you like put a Giratina tick on them and you do 250. So basically it kills Picaroms and stuff. But like 3 prizes of liability, so other Malamar variants are still viable. Yeah, Giratina's good.
Alright, and then for your second tier 1 deck that you're gonna be going over today.
Oh, would you look at that? It's Malamar. This one's Malamar Spell Tags with the Giratina that just does 130 every turn that you're in a spam for probably at least 5 of the 6 prizes. 130 is good. You only give up 1 prize, so they have to go through 6 of these stupid things. Oh, now Jacob's got to do some tier 1.
Alright, gotcha. So my tier 1 decks today. First one's gonna be Pikarom. Picarom's just insane. You have a bunch of search with electromagnetic radar, and that's about it. Cherish Ball is pretty good. You have Thunder Mountain, which is pretty okay. Tapu Koko Prism Star gets some energy in play. You have a bunch of energy switching cards like Tag Switch, regular energy switch, and all that fun stuff. You did get Choo Choo as a second attacker now, so since you can Tandem Shock, I'm just learning the name of that attack right now. It's something you can actually full blitz energies onto, and you have 2 threats on the board. And then
definitely see that Picarom with this glare.
Yep. And then the GX attack for Choo Choo does 250 if you have the extra energies on it. So with 1 electric power, that kills a Reshizard, and it makes it pretty good. In this deck, you also have access to Zeraora, which gives everything for your treat with lightnings, and with all of your energy moving cards, it's very easy to give everything for your treat. And you also have Dawn Wings, which acts as your stand-in retreater. So, tier 1 deck, you have electric power, you can do a bazillion damage. It's pretty good. Tier
And there's
1.
another tier 1 deck.
And the last tier 1 deck we have is Blounds. There's 2 versions of Blounds right now. Both of them I think are very good. We have the...
Are we talking Rushy Blounds?
No, we're talking Blacephalon with Persian and Blacephalon
Oh, we're
with
talking the
Ability
Persian
GX.
versus Nagu.
Yeah, I would put both of these in tier 1. I think they're very good. It's an Ultra Beast, so you have access to Beast Ring. One of the only forms of search, since we don't have Ultra Ball, Nest Ball, any of that fun stuff, is going to be Ultra Space and Mysterious Treasure, which you can use very well with both decks, especially if you're playing the Ability GX one. You get extra uses out of Mysterious Treasure and Ultra Space. Beast Ring is crazy, gets a bunch of energies in play. It's a 2 prize attacker that kills 3 prize attackers. You work the prize trade really good. Burst GX is alright, Bursting Burn's okay. And yeah, pretty good deck, tier 1. So these are our tier 1 decks today: Blounds, Picarom, and Tina Chomp, and Tina Tag. So those are going to be our tier 1 decks today, and I'm going to move right on to our tier 2s. I'm actually going to leave these laid out for you.
Yeah, leave the tier 1 as they are.
Alright, so starting our tier 2 decks off, I have 2 decks for you today. We've kind of agreed that this is going to be the best of the tier 2 decks. It is right on the border of being tier 1.
This is the only thing that's ordered in like any of the things, by the way.
So we have Green's Reshizard. Like I said before, it's teetering on being tier 1, but I think it falls right in between. It's super strong. You have the ability to accelerate a bunch of energies. It can also use healing, which almost no other deck really has a lot of in this format, unless you count Super Scoop Up. But you can use Great Potion and Mixed Herbs, and with Greens, you can kind of just get all of that and have a giant hand and have everything ready when you need it. Welder's insane. You can play Lieutenant Surge just to Surge, Greens, Welder, and you set up your whole Reshizard every game. You can kind of choose your first one as a big tanky Reshizard, use all of your healing, and get to the end of the game with it. And then by the end, you want to get out your second Reshizard and just finish and clean up. It's super good, and the only reason I have it in tier 2 instead of tier 1 is because this deck loses to stamp really hard. Like late game, if you're ahead and you just get stamped to 2 or 3, like chances are you're not drawing out of it, and that really hinders this deck from being tier 1. So that's my opinion on Green's Reshizard, and then our second deck in tier 2 is going to be Dark Box today. Dark Box is really fun, it's entertaining. Weavile GX has the same ability as Aromatisse from the X and Y era. And Quagnag, I guess. But you can just move all of your dark energies around however you want to. You're never actually going to attack with Weavile unless you're losing. And then you have multiple GX
It's not
attackers.
actually a bad attacker against Giratina Malamar, just taking the 2 prizes instead of 3.
And then you have 2 different tag teams in this deck, which are really good. One's going to be the Umbreon and Darkrai. It does 150, snipe 60. Sure. And then you have Dark Moon GX. For a colorless, it just makes it so your opponent can't play any trainers next turn. And then if you have 5 extra darks, then they're knocked out. So if you can use this against Blacephalon in like their Beast Ring turn or anything like that, it's really good. You can also use it against a tag team to just guarantee yourself 3 prizes, and they can't use Electro Power, Energy Switch, depending on what you're playing against. There's outs for everything. And then the Tyranitar tag team, it's for 5 dark energies. It does 210, and if you kill EX or GX with it, you get to take an extra prize. So killing a tag team that you sniped earlier for 60 with Darkrai will take 4 prizes for you and can most of the time win you the game, especially if you Black Lance a Dedenne or something and put 60 on a tag team. You knock out the Dedenne, finishes the game with your Tyranitar. And that also has a GX attack where if you have 10, if you have 10 energies on it, it does 250 damage, and you discard the top 15 cards of your opponent's deck, which will basically always deck them out.
Yeah, that's a win condition a lot of the time.
15 cards is a lot, and even if they don't deck out, you're getting rid of 15 cards, and chances are they don't have those 15 cards to win the game for you. So just a lot of damage, a lot of energies.
Yeah, if you happen to not have to
you do have super scoop ups, which I hate as a card. I hate coin flips so much. But on the off chance that you actually flip heads, it's kind of like Max Potion, where you can move the energies off, pick it up with super scoop up, bench it again, and then move all the energies back. You play Naganadel to get energies and play Weavile to get them off, and then you just have multiple attackers. So those are my 2 decks for tier 2, and Seth also has one of those for you.
Wow, would you look at that? I'm going over another Malamar deck. This time, Ultra Necrozma Malamar. So, Ultra Necrozma Malamar, we're going back to the old days, back when Forbidden Light released, and everybody thought this was actually the best card ever. It's not. It's pretty good, though. 20 plus 80 for each psychic energy you can discard from this Pokemon. It was really solid. It's a really good tag team killer for 2 prizes, similar to Blacephalon. The GX attack doing the 60 spread is pretty decent in Malamar mirrors and the sort. It's mainly worse than Teenachomp because it takes more energy to get to the big tag team knockouts, and it just honestly just seems worse. It just feels bad compared to Teenachomp.
So those are the 3 decks we put into tier 2 today. Now we're going to move on to our tier 3, which is oh no, it's not the biggest. That's tier 4. So you can
Tier
start,
4 is
yeah.
large.
You can start with tier 3 now.
Let's see. We go in here first,
Sure.
boys. We're gonna start tier 3 out with Mew Mew Welder Box. So you're looking at Mew Mew. That's a psychic type that only has a GX attack. You're like, why am I playing Welder? Well, this thing copies actually anything. So you're out here with Dragonite GX doing 270 for 5 of any energy. You're out here using Altaria GX to stop GXs from attacking you next turn. You're out here
Latios
using
to stop
Latios for whatever that does.
Tag teams.
Yeah, why not just Altaria? You got like, I don't know, Greninja to like get past your mirror matches Altarias. You got the other Greninja to shuffle you into the deck and heal you. You got like, I don't know, a ton of random stuff.
Prominence.
Yeah, you got Prominence to
Macargo
heal
to
your
deck
whole
out
board.
Shedinja.
Oh yeah, there's the Macargo to deck out Shedinja.
Just a bunch of random GXs, a lot of energies, and Mew Mew.
Let's see here. Where are we going? Where'd it go? Oh, wait, you took that one. What else do I have to do from this tier? This one?
Yeah.
Okay. Next we have Guardian. So, Guardian is our first fairy deck, which means we have access to Fairy Charms, which are absolutely broken. Fairy Charms, Lightning, Ability, Psychic, and Ultra Beast will pretty much shut off, like, anything that
besides
exists
Reshizard
except
and Ball.
Darkbox and Reshizard, yeah. Like, Ultra Beast, Lightning, just heal. Oh, you can play Fairy Charm Dragon for this thing if you want. Ultra Beast or Dragon. Just, I don't know, lose or something. Lose or something.
Resistance against Dark
Fairy Charm Psychic. Like, you know, so Fairy Charms are great.
Or ability.
Or ability, yeah. But the thing that in Guardian does its GX attack for 6 energy does 200 and makes your opponent shuffle their entire hand into their deck. And they don't draw any cards.
So it's kind of like Reset Stamp, but it's not going to be banned and expanded.
So basically the thing with Guardian is that you can't finish games in 50 minutes. The fact that it only does 150 damage a turn with its regular attack is just too slow to finish games in the Specific 3 format, so if it could actually finish games, I could realistically see this being one of the top decks for Worlds. Okay. The other one. I had advised you not to play this, but we do believe it is better than anything in Tier 4. We have here Reshizard abilities. So, this is Reshizard using Jirachi's and Dedenne GX's. I don't know, I think all the other things rotated.
Arcanine.
Sure, if you want to play Arcanine in it, you could do that, I guess. And you're basically just Reshi greens, but without access to greens. You can dig a little bit farther, but, like, you'll probably whiff stuff you're really looking for in late game because you don't have green. And, like, pre-rotation, you could argue this is better because of Kiawe, using Lele for Kiawe turn 1, putting 4 energies on a Reshizard. That's not a thing anymore, so it's just worse than it was. And we believe it's strictly inferior to Reshizard Reshi greens.
Alright, and then I have 2 more decks as well going in this Tier 3 category. First one we're going to talk about today is Shedinja. Shedinja's a pretty good control deck. It has a lot of counters, the main one being Lysander Labs. There's some very insignificant ones as well, like Faba and Girafarig. But if you play against any of those...
I feel like you didn't even bring up the main one, Sabletar.
Oh yeah, that.
And Mimigar.
Uh-huh.
And Reset Stamp.
And Macargo.
And Macargo. And Charizard GX.
That's rotated.
Oh, yeah, frick.
Alright, well anyway,
You're right.
lots of things can beat Shedinja, but on the off chance that your opponent is not playing any of those cards, you actually have a chance to win the game. So, Vessel of Life, it's his ability, and you can attach it to one of your Pokemon as a tool. And that Pokemon, it gives up 1 less prize card when they're knocked out. So, the goal of this deck is you attach Shedinja to your Resource Management Oranguru, which makes it give up 0 prizes. And every single turn, you just use a bunch of Zebstricas and discard your hand and draw 4 cards and get your deck all the way down to the bottom. You get like 3 Zebstricas set up, and then you just get an Oranguru when you're active with a, what's it called, Recycle Energy, and you just keep recycling all of your control cards and you never deck out. And every time they knock out your active, they take 0 prizes, and you just get in a never-ending loop because you can use Shedinja if it's in your active, so you just send up your other Shedinja. And then since you resource management back another Oranguru and you have your recycle energy in hand, you just loop it over and over and over again, and you never deck out, and then you always tie, and you never actually win the game. And then if your opponent's playing any of those techs, then you
Giovanni Diglett.
yeah, you can Giovanni Diglett, and it's still not that good. So yeah, that's Shedinja, Tier 3. It's better than some of these decks.
I'd also
Tier
advise
4.
you not to play that.
Yeah, because like tying is a match point and losing is not. So in that regard, it's better than the Tier 4 decks. And then the last one in Tier 3, this one it's really fun. I'm not exactly sure if it should be in Tier 3 or Tier 4.
I'm confident it should be in Tier 3.
Okay, well this is going to be Whimsicott Porygon Z. So Porygon Z's ability is you can attach as many special energies from your hand as you like in your turn. So it's like Deluge Blastoise from Expanded, still a stage 2, but you can't get it out with Archie's. You have to rare candy evolve it. And then Whimsicott GX has a bunch of cool stuff on it. Its ability is... if it's-
Fluffy cotton, I think.
if it's damaged by an attack, you flip a coin, and if it's tails, you're not damaged by that attack. So right there's only a 50% chance of you actually taking any damage throughout the game. You're a 190 HP fairy type, which means you also have access to all of the charms, like as we were listed before in Guardian. Its attack energy below does 10 and then 30 more for each energy attached to it. So the point is use Porygon Z just to accelerate a bunch of triple acceleration energies and recycle energies. You can kind of get 4 recycle energies in play, and that's 130 damage right there with the base of 10, and every time they knock out a Whimsicott, they all go back to your hand.
Yeah, you can just infinitely.
And then whenever you
loop
want
them.
to do extra damage, you can attach triple acceleration, which will be another 90 damage for each one you do. You also have rainbows or unit energies, whatever you'd like to use. And then the GX attack actually really helps you set up as well. It's the same as Metagross's GX attack, but it's for 1 fairy, and you just search your deck for 5 cards.
Oh, also Baby Whimsicott.
I don't know what that does, but yeah.
Okay, so
Oh, you evolve into it and search your deck for a card. Right?
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
So that sets up your Toy Box GX if you really need to.
So you have a lot of things to kind of set up your board.
I'm surprised you knew that.
Me too. But really, it just seems like they can kill your Porygon Z and then you lose. You just can't get energies in play, and you're just relying on your ability to keep you safe. So
You
it's
just
not...
kind of rely on Toy Box to not lose.
Yeah. But reset stamp is a thing, but if they use it on your toy box, that means they're not using it to put you down like 1 or 2 cards, so you don't necessarily dead draw at the end of the game. So that's going to be it for Tier 3, and now we're going to move on to our biggest tier, and the one we're not very excited to talk about, and this is going to be Tier 4.
I'm excited to talk about a couple of these, but
Right.
not the others.
The first deck in Tier 4 today is going to be Beheem Ninetales. So, Beheem Ninetales is brought to us by our friend Ben. I'm sure you recognize him from some of our videos and probably the monthlies and stuff. But Beheem, for a triple acceleration energy, or 3 colorless, it's going to do 90 damage. Your opponent is item locked, and you shuffle it, all cards attached to it, and its pre-evolution back into your deck. So since triple acceleration energy typically gets discarded at the end of your turn, it actually doesn't, because you get to shuffle it back in the deck along with this. And then you bring up a new thing, kind of like Dawn Fan or anything like that. So the thing that you're typically going to be... Yeah, that thing. So what you'll usually bring up is going to be
put Hitmons in this.
the Wobbuffet. Or not Wobbuffet, that's a Hitmon.
Ninetales.
The Ninetales. And that has Safeguard, it's a non-GX stage 1. And you can just bring it up. Or you can play it with Keldeo GX, that works too. So you just bring up a wall of some kind, you reset it up with the pre-evolution you have set up on your bench, and you can just retreat and do all your sorts of stuff. I don't like this deck at all, but
You could play it, I suppose.
could play it, might function, you might be able to win a game off of somebody. Like Seth has said about many decks before this, I don't advise it. The next one we have is Nagaray. This one,
I'd rather you play this than Beheem, by the way.
this one is definitely better than Beheem. You can accelerate energies through Stormy Winds, which you discard the top 3 cards of your deck when you bench it. If there's energy in there, fire, or... I think it's any energy, actually, yeah. If there's any energy in your discard pile, you can attach it to itself, and then Naganadel, like you know from the other decks before, just accelerates energy from your discard to itself. It still has all the energy switching cards, but it just seems like a worse version of Pikarom, because you don't have Tag Switch, you don't have 240 HP, you don't have Electro Power.
I mean, Shaman Prism Star is pretty nuts.
Shaman Prism Star is kind of cool, and it gives up 2 prizes, which is the big selling factor to this deck. So it's definitely not terrible, but there's just better options out there.
Top 10.
So the next one we're going to talk about is going to be Nidoqueen Stage 2s. So I think this deck is really cool. You have triple acceleration energies.
You might not know what that does. Let's zoom in a little bit.
So Power Lariat, it's going to do 10 plus 50 more for each evolution Pokemon on your bench. So you have things like Swampert, Meganium, all of those things that will evolve. Slacking, and that just boosts your damage up for you. And then its ability, Queen's Call, is you can search your deck for a Pokemon that is not a Pokemon EX or GX and put it into your hand. So that's just your way to set up all of your Meganiums and Swampert and keep a never-ending flow going. You have Super Boost Energy, which acts kind of as a 5th triple acceleration, and then you can use it on a Swampert actually to hit for water energies against Fire Weak Pokemon. And then you just have Resource Management to put your triple accelerations back once they all go away. The last one, oh no, sorry, we have 2 decks left. One is going to be Keldeo GX Control. So I actually just found out what this was based on Andrew Mahone's video where you play Bronzong's and Unknown Hand. It's just your typical run-of-the-mill control deck. You have Safeguard on this, so EXs and GXs can't hit you. And then you have Bronze on, which makes it so Fire Pokemon can't hit you. So there's certain things that just absolutely destroy this. Psychic Malamar being the main one, or just anything that plays into Ganondale, or anything that's good, just kind of beats this. But if they aren't playing any of those things, say they're playing
Mew can get around it with Detective Pikachu Greninja.
Yeah. But all of those kind of things, if they're not playing those, then you can kind of just get your hand to 35 cards and win. I know they have reset stamps, so that kind of makes it so you're going to tie. You can play it right. There's certain control cards you can run, like Mars, that could get you by, but it's not very good.
Mars?
I guess.
I guess you could use Mars.
The one cool thing he did play is you have the healing cards, like we haven't had in a deck since Green Zard. And then you can play the unit energies that are Fire, Water, Grass, and run Gardenia to heal with your supporter. And then the last deck that I'm super excited to talk about for Tier 4
is this what
is Standard Broken Gas deck. So since we don't actually post videos, I'm pretty sure you happened to see our Super Broken Gas deck profile from Expanded a few months ago. Well, this is my standard interpretation of that. So it was Zoro, Lucario with a bunch of control cards, but instead you play Swampert. So you can rare candy, use Ninetales GX to set up your rare candies, right?
Should have put one of those in Nidoqueen too.
You get the Swampert, and then you draw cards with it. You have Lucario, which hits with weakness on Pikarom and Darkrai. Then you have the, what's it called? The Incineroar, which is also
no
a stage
idea
2.
any of the cards you're talking about.
So-
Don't even ask me.
Incineroar, its ability is like a choice band kind of. All of your Pokemon do 30 more damage as long as it's in play. So, with a triple acceleration energy, if you have Incineroar in play, you can attach it to the Swampert, and that makes it space 110, which one-shots a Blown, which is Tier 1. So, since you're one-shotting Blown, and you're one-shotting Pikarom, that means you're beating 50% of the top-tier decks.
And then losing to Malamar.
And then you kind of lose the Malamar. But just...
Are you playing like giraffes or something?
Yeah, you play Girafarig, so you auto-win Malamar.
I
And
don't
then you
think
play
that's an
resource
auto-win,
management.
but okay.
So you have resource management, Girafarig, you run Keldeo GX, which wins some matchups, and you just play a bunch of different cool control cards. It's like Keldeo GX, but good. And honestly, I think this would be a top tier deck, but it's just not. So now we're gonna move back over to Seth, who's gonna finish up this tier 4 category today.
Hold up. Okay. So, gosh, I'm not an extreme. Okay, let's get out of the way of the one that I probably know the least about. This is Fossil Box.
That's about all we know about this deck.
Pretty much.
So it has U-turn, which is kind of like the
It's
other thing.
Beheeyem, but probably better because it's not Beheeyem actually.
Ben doesn't play it.
I mean, fossils have that like cool new stadium research lab to get them in play faster.
An Aerodactyl.
You can use like Caracosta to beat Shedinja. It makes them their tools have no effect, so you could do that to beat Shedinja, I guess. It actually just really just seems too clunky to do anything. Yeah.
Alrighty, next tier 4 deck.
Let's get out of the way the ones I'm not excited about. Next up, we got the mighty Breloom Frostlass. That's about all.
The only good thing we
It
can say
hits
about
for
this-
weakness against relevant stuff. It's
Yeah.
just so clunky.
The only good thing we have to say about that deck is that it was on Omnipoke's top 10. Yeah.
Yeah, I really don't know what to say about it.
It's built around hitting weakness on those things up at the
yeah,
top,
it's a
but then there's
complete
other
meta
things
call.
that it just doesn't hit weakness on, and if you play against the Giratina, you're guaranteed to lose.
It's a complete meta call against like this, like that and that.
Mhm.
That's about it.
Yeah.
Maybe that.
Next.
Okay, we're gonna go for Spiritomb next. So this is Spiritomb Ultra Beast, which is the best variant of a deck that runs a random single prize attacker and a bunch of random Ultra Beasts. So Spiritomb has this ability where you put damage counters on it. This attack makes it do more damage for damage counters on it. So you can use like Rainbow Energy and stuff. And you can use like Baby Buzzwole and Nihilego and Xurkitree and Kartana and all the random Ultra Beasts to like hit for damage on those turns while you're building up more Spiritombs.
Sunfisk Welder.
Yeah, I guess you could do that. Okay, these three I'm actually excited to talk about. Okay, so Whimsicott Welder. So this is Whimsicott Porygon Z, but slightly worse because it's not as fast. You're gonna retain all of your energies, but like you're running an engine that's based around the like Migirna Tapu Lele thing where you can fuse them every turn. So they only have a 25% chance of actually hitting you between your ability and the
To be honest
confusion.
with you, I have no idea what Lele or whatever.
Okay, so
Pokemon you said,
okay,
dude.
so Tapu Lele is
You mean the one from the pre-release? The fairy one?
yes. So this has an ability that when you attach a fairy charm to it, your opponent's active Pokemon is not confused. And then you play that Migirna that's in all of Dark Integral Gaming's videos, where you can take a tool off of one of your Pokemon as many times as you want per turn, so you can infinitely loop the fairy charm, confusing them. So they only have a 25% chance of actually attacking you, and you're just kind of weldering to get more damage up, because you can't do the whole recycle energy thing without Porygon Z.
Mhm.
So it just seems a little bit worse, but it's really high rolly with the 25% chance of them actually attacking you. Ooh, which one am I more excited about? Okay, I want to save that for last. Okay, so we got Zygarde here. So Zygarde, if this deck had Search, it would be extremely good. So this Zygarde makes it so your Zygarde GXs and that Zygarde do more damage. 20 more damage for each one you have in play. It stacks. And the attack is like old Oblivion Wing on Yveltal and the whatever it's called, Raikou. Booming Thunder, I think, something like that. Where it does 20 and it attaches a fighting from your discard to one of your bench Pokemon. So you can power up your Zygarde GXs with that. And then you can use Bonnies with Zygarde GX's GX attack to like infinitely make it so GXs can't hit you, and because there's no Guzma, they can't really get around it as easily. So it seems really good, except for the fact, and like you have martial arts dojo and karate belts and stuff. There's a lot of fighting support, except you can't find the Pokemon for any purpose at all. The final one, boys, we got Naganadel Porygon Z. This is Whimsicott Z, but you're looping 170 damage snipes every turn with their recycle energies. So you're attaching the psychic energy, and then you're using a triple acceleration or 3 recycles, depending on the turn, depending on if you had the recycles already and whatnot, to snipe 170 anywhere you want, which is a lot more powerful now that people can't Guzma. So this is your way of sniping the bench. People think their Dedenes are safe. They're not. The Ganadel. You have this really amazing ability that just lets you like discard an Ultra Beast from your hand and draw 3 cards. Since you're using Porygon Z, you can do like unit energy to cover the Psychic and do like Nihilego and like sort of like Xurkitree and stuff. Like you have a lot of options, and just doing 170 and having a draw engine, this sounds really nice. It's just same thing with when consistency sounds terrible. Okay, so we're moving into the decks that are literally, please don't play them.
So this video starting now is a warning. A warning of what not to play to the World Championships if you don't want to go 0-9.
These are decks we've seen people talking about and we would not advise.
Yep, so Seth, since you're already going, I'm just going to let you finish up with your last few.
Baby Alolan Exeggutor. This does 20 damage for each type of basic energy in your 20 plus 20 for each basic energy in your different type of basic energy in your discard pile, capping it at 120.
So all you have is Viridian Force.
You have Shuckle.
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah, you have Shuckle and Viridian Force and like Zipstrika and Dedenne. So basically, the point of this is that, you can use Netballs to search your Executes and Mysterious Shard to search your Exeggutors.
Wait, isn't there a new
it's bad.
Execute that you can get with Treasure?
I mean, yeah, but like, the fact that you can Netball is still nice. It's more search, but like, it's just the fact that you're capping at 140 or 120. It's hard to get to that 120 in the first place.
And then you're hitting for 120.
Yeah, and then you're not even killing a Giratina. So, it doesn't seem great.
Alright.
So, these next two decks, actually, I love them, but I can't afford to put them above bad, unfortunately. We have here Beast Box, which is attacking with this Naganadel GX with the Beast Rate attack, 20 for each of your Ultra Beasts in play. You can use, like, this Naganadel GX for the ability discarding Ultra Beast, drawing 3, maybe sniping if you really want to. You can use Buzzwole and Pheromosa GX to do crazy turns with Beast Game GX where you take, like, 50,000 prizes for some reason. And just, like, 190 for 3 sounds good. Beast Ring is really nice. It's just the fact that you're doing 120 a turn, again, similar issue with eggs. And actually, this deck is amazing. Jacob, this won't let me put it any higher. This is Raw Eggs. This deck is probably going to win Worlds. Okay, Jacob, talk about your two.
Oh, you don't
That's
have
all I
anything
got.
else to say about
It's going to win Worlds.
Okay, so these are my two least favorite decks by far. First one, I don't really know anything about it, but it's gonna be Zap Beasts. So you have Zapdos, and sometimes you can hit for 80 damage. Sometimes you can hit for like 110 with electro powers, and sometimes you can hit for 10 damage. And then there's certain turns of the game where on the off chance that you find the Pokemon that can do more damage, you can do more damage, and it's still not enough to actually kill anything. So starting when you get to 4 prizes, you can Sledgehammer with a Buzzwole for 120. Sometimes they're playing Pikarom and that's a knockout, but sometimes they're playing anything else and it's not. And then they go down to 3 prizes.
You can use Zerkatry.
You can use Zerkatry, and that is like the same thing, but 3 prizes.
And it does 130 instead of 120.
And then they go down to 2, and you can Nightcap with Nihiligo.
Which might actually kill them.
Yeah. And at this point, congratulations, you got a knockout.
You might have 3 prizes taken at this point.
And then they take
at least
their last
4,
2,
if not 5.
and then you lose. So,
Without Guzma, Zapdos is a lot worse.
And then by far, my least favorite deck going in the world, I'd rather play
That we
any
feel
of
like we
these.
have to mention.
All of these are things that I'd rather play than the deck I'm
You'd
about to show you.
rather play Zapdos.
I'd rather play this.
You'd rather play Behem, Keldeo, Naga Porygon,
And this deck
Fossil Box.
is going to be none other than Lost March. So, let me explain Lost March for you really quick. You have this attacker called Natu. Does 20 damage for each Pokemon in your Lost Zone. But you have no DCE. So, it has 40 HP, completely useless, and you have to attach 2 energies to it. It's a basic, so you can't use TCE. And then you have the Jump Plus. So it starts as a Hoppip, does nothing. You evolve it on the Skiploom. It has an ability where you can Lost Zone it and the card under it, and search your deck for a Jump Plus, put it in play. So you kind of have acceleration a little bit. If you, for some reason, are playing Treasure to get your Natus out, good for you.
Netball.
Otherwise, you just have Netball, which gets your energies
Pecom.
and your Hoppips, and then Pecom. So you do have a Molga Pecom, which like you could argue is okay.
I think you should be playing a Molga Pecom
But-
if you can't find any other deck to play, like even Braylass.
So you kind of have acceleration, but you're not hitting any more than like 140, 160, and then you have Trumbeak. Trumbeak like kind of works sometimes. It just puts itself in the Lost Zone, and then
No, but you gotta be playing those Grass Ultra Beasts, Kartana and Buzzmosa.
yeah, those things. So
You actually have enough attackers to do something.
I think it's it can't be a coincidence that 3 of our bottom decks all share those same Ultra Beasts. I don't think it's a coincidence at all.
That's not 3 to 4.
Oh, does this play Ultra Beast too?
No, I'm just 3 to 4 bad decks.
Oh, yep. So this is gonna be our video today. Hope you enjoyed. We have all the decks right here. Tier 1's at the top. Ads right here, and a little eggs is right there.
And the eggs.
Meta manipulation.
Meta manipulation.
Yep, so make sure to check us out on Twitch for the daily streams.
No one's gonna watch far
//
enough in this
Garboders.
video to hear that we're manipulating the meta.
And
with
if
our
you
eggs.
have not already, say you don't want to play these at Worlds, and you want to find all of these cards for a nice, affordable price. You can head over to TotalCards.net and use coupon code GARBRODERS at checkout to get 2% off your purchase.
By the way, we will supply lists for none of these decks.
Yeah, so like I'm gonna promise you guys that we're gonna make videos for these, but it's just not gonna happen.
They'll be on the daily streams.
Yeah. So yeah, but like I said before, I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to check us out everywhere else, and we'll see you all later.